campesín pequeña rample, de la Rampla de Barcelona, me encontré una chiquita.
Well, thank you very, very much, Tom, for the introduction. And glad to have you back here on the Educated Retirement, where we do contemplate retirement, how to best stay retired. And even if you're not retired, like I'm not, still there are more challenges when you become advanced in age. Isn't that a nice way to say it? Instead of an old whatever. Yes, we are advanced in age, and what we are going to get today is some advanced knowledge from our repeat offender here, Dr. Arash. I tried. Somehow it didn't come out right, but that's all right. He'll forgive me. I don't know what happened with my mouth. My mouth is still kind of working, but so be it. And I think you know him from past episodes and from the hospice and palliative care and all the great information they've given us. The most important single thing to me was no longer thinking of hospice as a four-letter word and more as a warm, welcoming way to try to make it through and keep yourself going. So with that, let me get out of the way. And for those of you that have not met Dr. Arash, let him go ahead, please, sir, and introduce yourself and just give us an overview of the services, and then we can get into some more specifics. So I'll get out of the way. Thank you.
Hi, Jay. Nice seeing you again. My name is Dr. Arash. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Golden Years Hospice Care. Basically, I'm also the house officer to make sure that we can answer and address all the concerns that our patients have. So in a sense, when anybody that joins our program, they have a doctor on tap 24/7, which is like concierge service. If your loved ones are having flu symptoms, headaches, or anything, it's really nice to know that you can actually be able to reach out to a staff of people who can help not only answer questions, but to order medications, which can be delivered to your home within a couple of hours.
That's great. And I thought I was clearing my ears out while the Golden Years poster was up there, but unfortunately it showed, but that's okay. We all need to clear our ears out once in a while. Now, you've been doing this for a while now, and you are the doctor kind of in charge of the medical end of it. So it's not like it's not like they have to call different doctors or things like that. You're the first one. You're always there. If you do need other people, you bring them in, right?
Right, and that's kind of the whole point. It's not just a one-person show. It's not just one doctor. Anybody who joins the program, there's actually a team of people. There's a couple of doctors. Not only you'll have nurses, you'll have a coordinator that helps connect things. You have the pharmacy. There's a lot of people that are working together. There's a social worker. There's a pastor, a bereavement counselor. We provide a lot of services that people need and support, and whatever they need, we try to get them, that supportive need that they need.
That's right. And you've been around for, I'm not sure how long you guys have been in business, but it's been a while, right?
It's been about like 5 years.
Yeah. And of course you have experience working with everything medical, not just, and I was going to say us oldies, but hospice care and palliative care is not only for oldies, is it?
Well, it's mostly for elderly people that need the supportive care. So I wouldn't expect a young person to need extra supportive care like nursing services or any other stuff like that. However,
Yeah.
keeping in mind, there are patients who have cancer or they're terminally ill, and that doesn't discriminate on age. So even if
Yeah.
25 years old and you have cancer and you're not doing well, you can still reach out and that's still covered. So it really, it doesn't, there's no age limit for the service, but the expectations are more for like the
Hmm.
elderly people who need the extra supportive care. They need someone to go make sure that their medications are right, someone to be able to oversee what's going on and take care of them if they need labs done, if they need, things to get done to find out what's going
And
on.
they do, right? They need it
But
continuously, kind of to check up and to monitor.
yeah, medical education and all that stuff. So the whole point is instead of being able to, instead of going to a primary care doctor, you have everybody coming to you.
Which brings up the next point I was going to bring up, and that is you don't have a specific address that people have to move into. They stay where they are the most comfortable.
Right. So patients usually stay at home. They feel, and we bring the services to them. It's really, if you want to think about it, it's a really concierge service, medical services and supportive staff coming to you.
Yeah.
Nurses come to you. The doctors come to you. We can video chat. We talk over the phone. It's, they have a team waiting there for them to answer all their concerns.
I just recently discovered that there is such a thing as concierge doctors. And I take it those are mostly like when I was a kid and the doctor came over to the house.
Yeah, that's
And so that's interesting. I've heard of that kind of thing, but I thought it was a real specialty. But I think that it's getting more. There's quite a bit of that going on, isn't there?
So it is a service like any primary care doctor can do, the concierge service, that it does exist. But part of this program, part of Golden Years, is really
Yeah.
bringing it in without having to worry about the costs. It's
Right. Whereas a concierge doctor, in general, there's cost.
right.
And when it comes to all of your as far as I know, it is covered by insurance. It's covered by Medicare, and that's a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we know how expensive I take pills, and I asked the pharmacy how much do these pills cost without insurance. For 1 month, $3,000.
Ouch.
And I don't pay that much, but it's my God, no wonder costs are going through the roof, and it's crazy. But that's not what we're here to talk about, and that's that Creon because of the pancreatitis, and that's why I can't go to those the orthodox kosher meals anymore, because I take pig enzymes. So there. But we still enjoy some good. In fact, you and I and a couple other people enjoyed a really nice meal not that long ago, which we got to do again, right?
Yeah, we gotta hang out and talk about our new ventures, what we plan to do, working together, how we can connect different businesses and opportunities within the community, and just making everybody aware of the resources that they have within the community.
Now, did you want to get into some of the new things you're getting into or that kind of thing?
For the past month or so, we haven't done any new things anyways. We're just still keeping our relationships open with the mortuaries, working with people in the community to kind of connect them and give them information about estate planning, reverse mortgaging.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, and even, people are starting to call into about like the flu season. Like, what do I do if I have fever, if I have nausea, vomiting, diarrhea? Like, all these things are coming up around this season.
But you do work with hospitals directly and, back and forth and that, in your expansion. And I take it the expansion has been doing well.
Yeah.
Now,
So,
I hate to break it up here, but we'll get right back to our conversation. But give out your contact, all the ways that you can be contacted. And I'll just yap a little bit by saying to the listeners that you need to have these conversations way before you need them. You don't want to wait until something happens and then be rushed into some kind of a decision. You need to talk to the doctor right here. You need to talk to their company and several other people too that should be on what Ron Siegel calls the household board of directors. But you need to talk to them now so that when the time comes, you don't have to worry. So go ahead and give out your contact information, please.
well, before I give out the contact information, just to add on to what you said, it's important for a lot of people to plan with their advanced directives, to plan of care, what they plan to have to happen to them when, all these medical decisions need to be addressed now when they're aware and orientated to know what their issues are. So part of our service is to work with them, give them the advanced directives, know what their wishes are, what are their plans, and kind of work with them and give them the knowledge and education that they need. But going on top of that, the best way to reach us is you can call us directly at 888-909-3227, 1-888-909-3227. You can email us at info@goldenyearshospice.com, and you can even visit us at goldenyearshospice.com. You can even Google us at goldenyearshospice.com, and you'll see our phone number. So as long as you remember our name, Golden Years Hospice, if you Google it, you'll be able to find it. If you need us to call us, the phone number's up there too. So you'll be able to find us.
And just to reiterate, hospice is not always the last stop on the train ride. It is the place you go to feel comfortable, to fight for the future in the best way you can, and enjoy while you're fighting and stay comfortable.
Right. And that's kind of the whole purpose. It's to give supportive care to people they can fight whatever they're dealing with. If they need extra help, they can get that extra help without worrying about the costs.
Now let's really talk about something real positive like COVID and the flu and that kind of thing. Something that really make us happy here. That we have this new variant, what they call the Delta variant, right?
Yeah.
And I understand there are more variants waiting in the wings, especially one coming from the Peru area, things like that. Do you know anything about those?
So there's one new Delta variant mutation that they found recently in the UK, and that's kind of spreading real quickly. Part of Europe is closing down. Russia has decided to pass legislation to close down a lot of the areas. This threat is starting to become more scary for a lot of these countries. It's too much to handle on the medical system. So they're trying to everyone, and there's shutdowns happening. I don't know if anything like that will happen within the United States. It's just we're hoping that everybody gets the vaccines, and the vaccines are supposed to help fight off these infections. But on the looking on the other side of it is this virus actually mutates, and the mutations is actually the problem. When it mutates, it's harder to be able to address this infection. Our vaccines won't be able to effectively take care of patients because of the mutations.
Right.
So
go ahead.
So there's a lot of things to worry about, and
Nice.
can do is, my recommendation for everyone is still try to get the vaccine if you haven't gotten it by now, and still be vigilant, be aware of your surroundings, and don't think that this is just something to forget about. And some people also also need to worry about the flu season, and a lot of people are ignoring to get the flu shot as well. So even as we get older, I would still recommend for people to get the flu shot.
Sure.
And then when you hit a certain age, there's the pneumovax vaccine that you guys should be getting. There's so
Yeah.
many things
I
to be
got that one because I am of a certain age.
right. So when you reach that certain age, you also need that vaccine as well, the pneumovax vaccine.
Now, what the reason we need a new flu shot every year is because flus, there's a lot of different viruses out there and they're always changing. So,
That's exactly the same reason.
yeah, I have a feeling that with the COVID, it's just, maybe just another version of SARS or the flu, but it's going to keep mutating. And I wouldn't be surprised if we need a new shot every year or so.
Well, that's kind of the plan. But right now, they're talking about the boosters, and the boosters
Yeah.
are basically supposed to wake up your immune system. I know that a lot of people didn't like the second shot from Pfizer or Moderna because it had a lot of side effects. And even if you get the booster, you're going to have those side
Sure.
effects come back
Well,
because
I had those side effects both times, first shot and second shot. They were not painful, they were not harmful. The first time was a little surprising. And in fact, earlier on the show, we talked about that movie, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, and I actually felt like I was one of those inmates the day after. So the second time I took it, I expected it, and it was kind of fun. So, not a big deal. And these shots are different than the other ones don't and correct me because I am not obviously. They give you a light version of the disease or not the COVID ones, the other ones.
what other ones?
Like the regular flu, the yearly flu shot.
So the regular flu shots, it's a part of, it's not the disease. It's basically a part of
Okay.
the virus that your body kind of can recognize and say, if I see something like this, I know how to fight it off.
And these are the COVID shots are a little different. They're based on giving you a certain amount of RNA from and this goes back to my pre-med days, but
So
my post-med days don't exist, but
So basically, what these new COVID shots are, they're basically the instructions for your body to make the parts of the virus. So they inject these new vaccines, these mRNAs. Your body then translates them and makes the parts of the virus. And then it learns that, oh, this doesn't belong to me, that I've never seen it before. So when you get the real virus, it knows that it's like, these are the same parts or building blocks, and it knows how to attack it.
And I don't know if you know the answer to this or if anyone does. They're talking somewhat about it's okay now to mix and match, but there's some talk about that maybe it's better to to get a different one. Do you know anything about that?
So the conversation is really about how do you increase your immunity.
Right.
Different kinds of versions that they're talking about to get is really based on you're targeting or training your body to look at a different part of the virus. For example, Pfizer looks at like a specific, like the arms of the virus, and Moderna looks at the legs of the virus.
Mm.
So mix and match, then you're
That's why I couldn't walk very well afterwards, right?
yeah. This way, when you mix and match, you're kind of giving your body, a different aspect of the virus to look at the same time. And that's why, and that's the reason they're saying that it might be a good idea to do something like that. But at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. The reason they want people to get the boosters, it's for the immunocompromised people or the elderly people. It's just to activate their immune system in a sense,
Good.
so make it more awake and prepared if anything happens.
Good. So the other day I was coming back from visiting with a friend, and we went through the cow country in Chino, and I was sniffling a lot on the thing, and I said, "My God, I hope I'm okay." But then I smelled the cows, and I knew I was okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Yeah, go ahead.
the different viruses act differently. So there's like the original COVID viruses affected taste and smell. The new recent mutations make people more fatigued. They give them joint pain and stomach
Ouch.
pain. So, I mean, you can't tell if you got COVID now anymore, because it's like if you get COVID, if you get a different version of it, then you'll have different symptoms than from having no smell and no taste.
And unfortunately, some of these people say, "Well, I don't get sick. I don't feel like I've been sick," but yet they're putting the rest of us in some kind of danger, right? They're putting themselves in danger too by not getting the shots.
So that brings up another good point. Every person is different. What that means is you can get the virus, but not show symptoms, not feel as tired, not have the same experiences as other people do. But that doesn't mean you're not infected either. So if someone says, "Well, I always feel tired," well, we don't know if it's the virus or if it's, your normal baseline. So again, I mean, you can't really base things on symptoms, and that's why we're trying to make sure everybody gets the vaccine to kind of stop the growth of this virus and stop it from mutating.
And unfortunately, there are a lot of people in this country that just don't believe in it. And what I try to say to these people is, what do you have to lose? Of course, I don't tell them about One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest the second day. But what do you have to lose,
Well, yeah, and to be on the fair side, when people say they don't believe in it, and you have to find out why. Why do they feel this way? Why do they think that they don't believe in it? It's really modern science. It's not something that you have to say like I believe or not believe because I see it. There's proof that's being out there. If people can say, if this vaccine wasn't out, we saw how many hospitalizations they were. After the vaccine, we can see the numbers, which shows us that there's less admissions, less people getting sick. And that's really the proof of showing you that this works. So to say that you believe in it or you don't believe it, and you don't need someone to tell you, you need to believe in me or you need to believe the doctor's word. It's just, there is mathematical proof there. It's hard facts that either you can understand 2 + 2 is 4 and realize that there's not a lot of admissions, and then why it's happening. And that kind of validates the argument of people saying, like, I don't believe in this stuff. I don't want to do it.
And it's nuts. I heard, and I don't repeat too much I hear on the news or whatever, but was one person said, okay, you don't believe in it. You don't believe in what the doctors and science are telling you, but when you get sick for this or anything else, why would you go to the same doctors if you don't believe them anyway? Well, you're going to go to those doctors. So,
Well, it's kind of also the same thing. Like if they don't believe in this vaccine, but if they get sick and they go to the doctor and they want antibiotics, why do they believe in antibiotics is working? I mean, all of this is still science. Like if you don't believe in this, I wouldn't expect you to believe in antibiotics or modern medicine.
Right. So I don't know. So we try though, right?
Right.
And it takes a lot of people like yourself with more knowledge that is being spread around is a good thing. Now we've reached the end of the half hour, but I don't want to cut you short. If you want to keep going, or if you want to talk a little bit more about your services, that's fine. Or if you have other things to do, that also is fine.
Well, we can basically have people reach out to us if they have questions regarding COVID or anything they want. They can always call us or email us. Phone number again is 833-909-3227, 888-909-3227. Email us at info@goldenyearshospice.com. Google us, try to reach out to us. We are more than happy to answer any questions you might have, direct you in the right direction. It's not necessarily when you're calling us, I don't want you to feel that you're calling to have, to be part of the program. It's more to say, it's a place where you can get more information, basically.
Right. And these people are on the top of my trust list. And if Dr. Arash was available, I would have him as my personal doctor, but he's not available. So, luckily, I don't need the services today, but you never know when you will, and you've got to know in advance what you're going to do. And I really, really appreciate you coming on, and apologize one more time for last week when I messed up on the new Zoom, the new Skype. I didn't have my formats corrected. But we're okay now. Skype seems to be a little easier to deal with. But you always will, I need all the help. So say hello to your cohort.
Yo te quiero a ti, ven, ven, ven. Yo te quiero a ti, ven, ven, ven. Yo te quiero a ti, solamente a ti, sabes bien que yo te quiero, mujer. Tú eres para mí. Yo te quiero a ti, ven, ven, ven. Yo te quiero a ti, ven, ven, ven. Yo te quiero a ti, solamente a ti, sabes bien que yo te quiero, mujer. Tú eres para mí. Que estará play. Me encontré una chiquita, yo la mira ya su cara, ella para mí